Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to George Smitherman.
4 weeks from today, the people of this great city will make an important decision. You will have to decide, what kind of Toronto do you want? That's what this election is about. This election is about a city in which all Torontonians can participate equally, regardless of where they are from or when they arrive. A united city, not a divided one. Above all else, I believe this election is about making City Hall work for you. I believe this election is about restoring credibility at City Hall, ensuring financial stability and confidence that our city government can provide the services that people depend upon. It's about instilling throughout our municipal government a commitment to service first, an emphasis on customer service that puts the needs of the people ahead of everything else. It's about making sure the people of Toronto get the services they need to ensure this is the most livable and most successful city in the world. A city with a dynamic economy, a city with a brilliant future. That is my vision for the city of Toronto. To bring that vision to life, we must restore the city government's financial credibility without hitting up the taxpayers over and over again. Now let me tell you why I left the provincial cabinet to run for mayor of Toronto. Early last year, a headline screamed out to me in the voice of City Hall. It told me the story of my city. It's a story I'd heard before, a story I had grown weary of. It was a story of our Toronto being projected as broke and bankrupt, powerless to control her destiny. To me, this did not reflect the Toronto that I love. It did not reflect the people of Toronto, who are proud of our city and so confident of its potential. And it did not reflect the reality of the city I know, where City Hall has gained many new sources of revenue. Soon after, the people of Toronto were put through the garbage strike. Once again, City Hall seemed impotent in the face of a crisis. I am seeking to be mayor of this city because I want to return Toronto to the days when it was not just a big city, but a city where we could dare to be world-class. I want Toronto to be a city as powerful as it is large. How do we restore that? We need to tackle 3 weaknesses with a real sense of urgency. First, we must restore the City of Toronto's financial credibility while renewing our focus on the core services that people depend upon every day. Second, we need to get this city moving again by making it easier for people to get where they want and need to go when they need to do it. And third, we need to rev up Toronto's economy again by creating jobs. That is too important for us to leave to Queen's Park or to Ottawa. I will be a mayor who brings jobs to Toronto. First, let me talk about how I will restore the city's financial credibility, which is key for us to be able to provide the quality services people want and need. I want to get a lot of things done for this city, including key investments for seniors, children and youth, and tenants, for arts and culture, transportation and transit, enhancing City Hall's customer service, and launching a war on bedbugs. My vision of Toronto is of a world-leading city, a Toronto that is the most livable and successful city in the world, the heart of the most vibrant economic region in North America, where our transit system is, once again, the example for all. Ending waste and inefficiency is crucial to bringing that vision to reality. That makes efficient, cost-conscious government at City Hall a moral imperative for our citizens. It is not an end in and of itself, as some would have you believe, but a beginning through which we realize a much larger vision of Toronto that unlocks our true potential. But to get anything done in government, you have to make sensible choices. Providing the services that people need and doing that with excellence depends on eliminating waste and restoring efficiency. Working with all members of council, I'm going to drill down into every item in the budget, to ensure efficiency in every department and agency. Not simply cherry pick a couple of high-profile items to get lots of headlines, but to save little money. I'm going to control the cost of government by using surgical precision, not lowering a guillotine. I have identified specific savings, which I am announcing today. In comparison, when Councillor Ford is asked where he'll cut to pay for his various promises, he lifts off spending that happened years ago, or just makes it up. By claiming he'll save $360 million on stopping the teardown of the Gardiner Expressway, for example, even though it's not planned and no money has ever been set aside for the teardown. Add to that his huge spending promises and plans to reduce $1 billion in revenue over the next 4 years, and his numbers simply don't add up. That means a whole lot of deep cuts to the services that Toronto depends upon. Toronto deserves better. I am committed to making 2011 a year to stabilize the City of Toronto's financial situation. A year to reposition Toronto as a launching pad for building a more attractive place to live and work and visit. To get City Hall focused on what it should be doing well, and to send a clear signal that the days of nickel and diming are over. I will freeze municipal taxes for a year. I will freeze city hiring for a year. And I will freeze new spending for 100 days, while I personally lead all members of council in a line-by-line, dollar-by-dollar review of the city's operating and capital budgets. The budget review will be conducted in the full public eye, on the internet and on television. It will be a full Oprah, as my mom says. People will know about it, they'll follow it, and they'll be engaged. I will serve as budget chief in 2011 because I must lead the new council toward this priority. The people have made it clear. They expect their mayor to lead on this issue, and lead I will. Eliminating waste, controlling cost, and renewing a focus on core services is an immediate priority. And if we are honest about it, a city government that projects itself as broke and bankrupt and powerless is a city government ill-equipped to shape a long-term vision for Toronto. We can already see the risks to our city. Mr. Ford's single-dimensional fixation on pinching pennies while promising away hundreds of millions has resulted in his promise to cancel the planned Eglinton Crosstown LRT. In a city gripped in gridlock, that's no way to run a railroad. Today I am announcing a budget blueprint for Toronto. I believe in telling voters exactly what I'll do and exactly how I'll pay for it. That should be the minimum test for any serious candidate for mayor. My budget blueprint outlines in clear terms how I will deal with the estimated $503 million operating budget pressure Toronto is already facing for next year. My budget blueprint shows how I will pay for the commitments I have made during this election campaign. And it shows how I will help tenants, businesses, and our young people while positioning Toronto confidently for the future. It shows how I will pay for my pledge to freeze taxes for homeowners and businesses next year. And it shows how I will do that while reducing property taxes for tenants. You can find a summary on the other side of your placemat. It's more simply available as well at georgesmitherman.ca. To restrict the chatter. The clatter, I should say. It includes at least $265 million in reductions to operating costs in 3 major ways. I will reduce 2,800 positions using managed attrition over the next 2 years, which means we will save $61 million in 2011. By the end of 2012, this strategy will result in permanent annual savings of $225 million. Working with Council, we will protect emergency and frontline services as well as provincially mandated programs and the Toronto Transit Commission. Second, smarter service delivery will help us achieve a further reduction of $154 million in 2011. We have to get city managers and employees thinking about how to do things in a different way, a more efficient way, a way that meets people's needs while costing less.